Hi, I'm Kim, taking you through stories people are talking about and sharing around the world on NewsFeed today. Because of her, we can. The Indigenous women of Australia claim their place and their voice.
The person who inspires me the most is my grandmother, Sandra Onus.
The Emmy nominations are announced and there is finally some movement on the diversity front. The terminal comes to life, but the man in the middle of it all has one birthday wish. And our animals doing stuff is a thief with a heart of gold. Indigenous and First Nations people around the world are still deep in the fight to be heard on equal terms. And in many cases, Indigenous women have even further to go. Now, nowhere is that more true than in Australia, where the hashtag because of her is taking hold, all in a bid to bring Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women to the fore. Take a look at this.
My name is Tanine Onus Williams and I'm a Yiga, Gunditjmara, Yorta Yorta, Bindal, Djaparang and Torres Strait Islander woman.
My name's Summer May Finlay and I'm a Yorta Yorta woman.
My name's Laura Murphy-Oates and I'm a Nyampa Whalewan woman.
My name is Carla Hart and I am a Gorang woman from the country of the Great Southern of Western Australia, from a town called Noongarra, and I belong to the Noongar Nation.
It's important to have Aboriginal women in leadership roles because Aboriginal women's voices have been silenced for so long.
Because they show other women, such as myself, what is possible.
There's women out there that are, still walking the walk and talking the talk through really bad trauma and heartache, and those are the women that I look up to.
The person who inspires me the most is my grandmother, Sandra Onus.
Bronwyn Fredericks is the Pro-Vice-Chancellor at the University of Queensland.
She did a famous piece of work which was called Onus vs Alcoa, and she fought a mining company.
She's someone who has never let boundaries stop her from doing what she wants to do. She has carved a way for myself and for other Aboriginal women that come up behind her.
Now, while many of these trailblazing women have been lost to history, quietly getting it done, there are others who can be named and celebrated. Take Shirley Smith, known as Mum Shirl because of the way she cared for those in trouble. She dedicated her life to social justice for Aboriginal people. Or Linda Burney, the first Aboriginal person in the New South Wales Parliament and the first Aboriginal woman to serve in the House of Representatives. Now, many others are sharing images of their mothers or grandmothers, so on and so forth, whose own fight in their own ways, caring for families and communities, have created these solid foundations to build on. The Emmy nominations have been announced, and for the first time, the awards have finally figured out what we've known all along, that the shows we binge online are usually better than what's on normal TV, newsfeed excluded, obviously. Netflix picked up 112 nominations, more than all of the others, including the major players like HBO. But while there is some movement on the platform front, many of the names and noms are repeats. Think Westworld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and South Park. One nomination, though, that's well and truly a first is Sandra Oh for lead actress. She's the first woman of Asian descent ever to be nominated in that category. It only took 10 years on Grey's Anatomy to get the recognition this babe definitely deserves. Or The Daily Show's Trevor Noah, who is celebrating that show's first nomination for Best Variety Talk Series since he took over as host 3 years ago. Congratulations, Trevor. And Game of Thrones' Peter Dinklage has become the most nominated actor ever in the supporting actor category. He's now on his 7th Emmy nomination. Badass. Then there's Jonathan Van Ness, who can't even. The Queer Eye star and Game of Thrones creator flips out. Can you see it? There it is. Get it? When he finds out that both the shows were nominated. Let's have a look now at what else is trending on social media. Today is Friday the 13th. The hashtag is spawning all sorts of excellent spin-offs like that little cute black cat or this one from Cheeses of Nazareth. There is also slightly less clever versions like Friday the 13th is better than Monday the whatever, although I would say that they are right. And what do you do when life gives you lemons? You grab your phone, you film it, and you have a lol, as almost 6 million people watch the video. To be honest, this video is super captivating, and it goes on almost 2 minutes. And everyone can now stop with the In My Feelings challenge because Will Smith has won. In case you missed it, this is the dance anyone with a camera has filmed to Drake's In My Feelings track, plus the name. But Will got proper jiggy with it and scaled the chain bridge in Budapest, busting out his own version, complete with drones. Done. Now, it's a privilege to be able to fly anywhere, but as many will attest, it's also a little bit grotty, and the longer the journey, the worse it gets. Imagine then being stuck in an airport for 4 whole months. That's what's happening to Hassan al-Kontar, a Syrian who's being refused entry by pretty much everyone. And for his birthday, which is today, he's asking his Twitter followers to help him get to Canada.
I want to explain to people what does it mean to be a Syrian. Lonely, weak, unwanted, rejected. No one is accepting us. Contact almost all human rights organizations. They don't have a solution. Do you know how many parliament member, minister, government, ambassador or any guy from any embassy all around the world who called me to offer some help? Zero. None.
Like him or loathe him, Nawaz Sharif is a man who refuses to give up. He's been elected, ousted and exiled and still remains one of the most influential men in Pakistan. Now he's facing the threat of jail once more as soon as he sets foot in Pakistan. But he's choosing to face the latest accusations, despite, quote, seeing the bars of prison in front of his eyes.
Nawaz Sharif, he's been elected as Pakistan's Prime Minister a record 3 times. He served a total of 9 years, but never completed a full term. Pakistan's anti-corruption court has now sentenced him to 10 years in prison. But this isn't the first time Nawaz Sharif has fallen. His stint as Prime Minister began in 1990 after defeating Benazir Bhutto. 3 years later, his term came to an abrupt end when President Ghulam Ishaq Khan dissolved the National Assembly and dismissed his government. Ishaq accused Nawaz Sharif of corruption, maladministration, nepotism and espousal of political violence. The Supreme Court called his dismissal unconstitutional and the charges false. Nawaz Sharif was reinstated, but he had to resign soon after. Benazir Bhutto won the elections that followed, but it wasn't game over for Sharif. In 1997, he returned as Prime Minister. Under him, Pakistan successfully tested nuclear weapons in response to India's atomic program.
But the present test of India has really shaken the balance of power in this region.
The rival nations seemed interested in strengthening ties through peace talks and bus diplomacy. Just when Sharif looked to have matters under control, things took a turn for the worse. Pakistan and India fought a bitter war over Kashmir, which eventually caused a rift between Sharif and Army Chief General Parvez Musharraf. Sharif dismissed Musharraf, but the military strongman had other ideas.
I request you all to remain calm and support your armed forces in the re-establishment of order to pave the way for a prosperous future for Pakistan.
Musharraf instead overthrew Sharif in a bloodless coup. Sharif was imprisoned and put on trial. He was charged with hijacking because he tried to prevent a plane carrying Musharraf from landing at any airport in Pakistan when it was low on fuel. He was also convicted of corruption. In December 2000, Sharif was released from prison and began a life in exile in Saudi Arabia. A political deal ending Musharraf's rule allowed him to return in 2007 to stand for election.
It's the beginning of kind of Musharraf.
He lost the election, but not his spirit. He was back as the Prime Minister in 2013. But yet again, controversy dogged him. The Panama Papers leak led to a judicial commission which probed corruption allegations against him. In 2017, he was disqualified from office. Nawaz Sharif has now been sentenced to 10 years in prison by an accountability court. He has been barred from contesting future elections. But can we be sure he won't rise again?
There's probably a few celebs shedding some tears today after Twitter purged fake accounts from the platform, cutting a few major players down to size. Ashton Kutcher went from 19 million to 18 million. Kim Kardashian West went from 60 million to just 58.5. And while most are playing it cool and pretending not to notice, actor Mark Hamill doesn't care how needy he looks. He wants evidence. I respect you, Mark. Very cool. How does getting kicked off a subreddit embody the spirit of the internet? Well, as hundreds of thousands of banned users will tell you, all it takes is Thanos, a Twitch stream, and critical mass.
The Avengers Infinity War has come to life. Spoiler alert ahead. Over 350,000 Reddit users were banned by random selection on the Thanos Did Nothing Wrong subreddit, a smaller community within Reddit. Sounds pretty similar to a scene from The Avengers. In the latest Avengers movie, the main villain Thanos is obsessed with restoring balance to the universe by killing half of its population indiscriminately. In order to do so, he collects the 5 Infinity Stones and inserts them into the Infinity Gauntlet, after which all he needs to do is snap his fingers. Actor Josh Brolin, who played Thanos in the movie, celebrated the event on Instagram.
Here we go, Reddit users.
The mass ban was streamed live on Twitch, and for 3 hours, people were watching other users getting banned. This cull marks the largest mass Reddit ban in the site's history. Banned users migrated to the R in the Soul Stone subreddit, mimicking the movies and comics where people killed by the Infinity Gauntlet have their souls trapped in the Soul Stone. So has balance been restored?
Now, I'm the last person, really, to reduce a woman down to what she's wearing, but the memes from Donald Trump's first public appearance in the UK could not be ignored. I'm calling it Disney meets dystopia. Many believe Melania was asking to be compared to none other than Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Of course, look at that. Mark thinks Macron should be the candlestick, which means Trump. We'll let you figure that one out. And there should also be a rule that no woman ever should wear red around Donald Trump because blessed be the fruit she shall become of Donald, even if she's one of the most powerful women in the world. Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai has blessed us all with a gift on her birthday, her own Instagram account. Here's to many Insta-uplifting posts and happy birthday, Malala. Yesterday we told you Kylie Jenner was on the Forbes list of the richest self-made women. Well, is the internet having a field day with that one? Dictionary.com isn't having a bar, reminding the world that self-made means having succeeded in life without help. Help like, say, the Kardashian name, wealth, or ready-made audience in a hit TV show. Kimberly is questioning whether Forbes has actually read the dictionary definition, while Ethan is the Queen of France, because Kylie Jenner is self-made. You see what he's getting at with that one. But we're going to end the show the best way, with animals doing stuff.
Come on. Oh, Archie.
This doggo's name is Archie. He likes stealing household items. He's especially into phones, keys, wallets, and magazines. And he definitely does not give things back. He's also training to be a service dog. But I reckon he may have some work to do.
Yeah. Give it to me.
That's all from the NewsFeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints, and suggestions at Kim Vanell. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Follow, subscribe and add us. We'll see you tomorrow.